We got both of these discs done and we'll put them to the side so we can start on the second phase of this job, which is going to be repairing the impellers and shafts that are severely damaged. Now, ideally, we would repair this the right way, but like we talked about earlier, we're just looking for a quick fix here. So I thought about coming in here and trying to machine this as is, but I think these chunks are gonna knock out our carbide inserts. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna come in here and file some of these high spots down ahead of time. And then at that point, we'll come in here and clean up the thread. For the insert, we're going to be using a DNMG carbide insert that I've sharpened. So hopefully we can take a really fine cut, and we're going to be running at 5 thou feet per revolution. All right, we're not cutting concentric, which is no surprise. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna feed in like 5 more thousandths. And even if this section here in the front is a little undersized, that's fine. It's gonna seat mostly back here. So hopefully that'll allow us to get rid of some of this damage, and then we'll polish, blend it out. You can see we kind of just cleaned up the first inch or so, and it didn't even fully clean up. We only took about 10 thousandths off total, which is 5 thou on each side. So this should get rid of the high spots, and it should make the impeller start a little easier. And then it still has, you know, 70%, 75% of contact on this original surface. And I think this is going to give us a decent-ish compromise. So we'll come in here and just with some memory paper, polish out, make sure there are no other high spots. With the shaft cleaned up as best we can, the next step is to get these threads cleaned up. So we have the nut over here on the tailstock, so I'm going to be able to get this slid up here. And you can see that it starts and just gets jammed up. So we'll keep this over at the tailstock, and we'll be able to test fit as we make our cut. Now, when you're lining up threads, you want to make sure you're doing it carefully, otherwise you're going to trash these threads. Touch off over here where there's more thread engagement. Now with this being metric, we need to leave the half nuts engaged all the time. So we will go ahead and get them engaged and make our adjustments. And we're pretty close there, to be honest. So I'm gonna back out. We're gonna reverse the spindle, which should reverse our feed. Then I'm gonna feed in, let's go 10 thou. Slowed the RPM down. It's gonna give me a little more time to react. We're not really in a hurry here. I'm gonna feed in 20 thou. So we went to minus 78 thousandths on that one. As you get closer, there's gonna be more tool load. So we're gonna take it easy. We'll go to 80. And the key here is just to back out the cross slide instead of trying to undo the half nut. It's a temptation that I have, not running a lot of metric threads before, but we're learning. 94 thousandths in feed. So far, so good. Alignment is pretty close. A feature of this lathe is it does run quicker in reverse, specifically for threading. So it gets you back to the beginning and just a little bit faster. I think it's like 30% faster. All right, we'll go minus 100, which is 50 thou per side. We're gonna take it to 110 and then try our nut. It's fine, there's no need to take more off. Now that we got all these burrs removed and this thread cleaned up, we can get this collar off. I marked this collar 255, so we need to take 255 thousandths off this collar because this collar sets the depth on the housings, and that is all 8 sides added up that we machined on one assembly. So we can slide this off. There's a keyway. There it is right there. Before, these parts could mechanically not go back together due to all the galling and the bad threads. Now they can be reassembled, the nuts do screw on, and that was the goal. Now obviously anytime you're doing a repair like this, you're going to be removing material and you're going to be loosening up the fit. So in this case we did polish these out once we knocked off the high spots. Maybe we lost a few thousandths there, and on the impeller it's stretched much worse than the damage here. So we might be losing 5, 10, 15 thousandths there. So originally you're starting with a 1 thou, and because we're not doing this properly, we're just removing material, we're probably going to go down to 10 to 20 thou clearance, which is like 20x worse than it should be. But hey, I mean, you know, this is what we're doing. So next step is to go ahead and get these guys faced. I have them marked off. They live here to set the depth for the housing, and then we'll move on to working on the impellers. We got to take 255 thousandths off this one. Oh, it's a good feed rate, whatever it is. It was 84, 196. 255 right there. OD-ID chamfer. Here's the OD. And the ID. There she is. And we're good to go on these spacers. We got the impeller all set up and dialed in as best as I could. I messed with this for probably 30 minutes, and I am probably within 1.5 thou, which is pretty much as good as I can get it. So here I'm doing it in 4 spots. So on 1, we're -1, and on 2, we are about 0. On 3, we're +1. And 4, we're 0. So pretty close, not as close as I would have liked, but I can't really get it any closer. I think this bore is not 100% round, which makes sense. We're gonna go in there and clean up what we can, but this is definitely a lot closer than just kind of winging it in a 3-jaw. And I think we'll get a much better result this way. So let me get the boring bar set up. We'll come in here and we'll try to skim off a lot of this destroyed area. And we are gonna cut out a few more thousandths after talking to the customer. Turns out that this is a press fit after all. At this point, we measured the shafts, so we measured the bores, and these bores are currently 10 to 11 thousandths undersized from the shaft, which would put us exactly about 2 thousandths per inch of press fit, which is quite significant. So after talking with the customer, he is okay for us to decrease the press fit slightly. So we're gonna go down to about 8 or so thousandths smaller on these. And that'll allow us to take out 2 or 3 thousandths and give us a relatively concentric surface. And it should still be a pretty heavy press fit of like 1.5 to 1 3/4 thou per inch. All right, we took our first cleanup pass and I measured it and we took off about 1 thousandths, which is not too much. And we cleaned up some of the drag marks. I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna take off another 1.5 thou and see where we're at and see if we can get a little bit more radial contact, because right now we just kind of are touching in a couple spots. So we're just creeping up on it. We're not in a hurry here. We're taking as minimal material as possible and seeing where we're at. Running at 250 RPM as well. And 4 thou per rev. gonna take another measurement, see where we're at. We're almost where we need to be. I'm just gonna take another thou and call it done. That's it. That's all the material we're moving on this thing. Well, that's about it for this impeller. The bore is cleaned up better than it was. Taking a look at it, and it's going to be hard to see on camera, we don't have full cleanup as kind of expected. Where it tore out actually created some low spots. And there's a couple spots in the back where we didn't get full cleanup. You know, this is not an exact science because we're not doing this properly. So we technically moved this from 10, 12 thou press fit down to maybe like a 6, 7, but that's in an ideal world. This bore isn't straight. It isn't round, and it's not consistent the whole way. So in the front, before we even started, there wasn't a 10 thou press because it was stretched where it's pulled out. So there's a couple spots where we did make it concentric, and that is, you know, probably 7 thou press fit still, but there's also some spots where it's not. So I think we made the most of a bad situation. The good news is they're not going to run into issues installing this with high spots, and that's really what we were aiming for. So we're going to get this out of the faceplate. We'll get it on the ground. I'm going to do the second one off camera. It's much of the same thing. Very boring, very repetitive. Once we're done with that, we'll meet you over, and that should be the last part we have to address on the job. Well guys, we got this job finished out. We got them on pallets, all packed up and ready to ship out. This job massively kicked my butt, but at the end of the day, we did get it done, and I think we did a good job. Obviously, some of the repairs on the shaft weren't my first choice, but overall, especially the part that we initially wanted to do, that turned out absolutely excellent, and I couldn't be happier. I'm curious to know what you guys think down below in the comments. These bigger jobs are definitely a little bit more complicated, have a lot more steps, but I think they're a little bit more interesting. So please let me know what you think about that down below. And until next time, we'll see you in the next one.